Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the rundown for another episode. And this week, guys, we are covering Spider Man Across the Spider Verse. Um, I am super excited. We're glad to have you all here. I know Anthony's fired up. He's on fire over there. Literally, he's ready to go as the villain of the week. We're going to be delving into, as I said, Across the Spider Verse. Really looking forward to talking about this. And seeing what you guys in the chat think. So, before we get into it, Anthony, how are you doing, brother? What's going on?
Oh man. So it's so obvious now that we are 180 degrees apart from each other in the world because it's so freaking hot over here. You're sitting there with the hoodie and the jacket and the hat on.
Hoodie, hoodie, jacket, and my Miles. Look at this, Miles. Boom,
Yeah,
found
it's
this
so hot,
yesterday.
dude. It's so hot.
Ready
It's
to
so
go.
hot. But, other than that, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Awesome. I know you're hyped to talk about this. I'm pretty sure you're hyped anyway. I thought you might have brought Miles along with you today, but I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
I
it
thought
in
so as well,
there.
but I was looking for a couple of figures. I was looking for 2099. I couldn't find it. I was looking for Hobie. Couldn't. Hobie's over there. Now I see him. Okay. But I
Nice,
was also
nice.
looking for Jimi Hendrix because I wanted to put Blizzard Jimi Hendrix's head on Spider Punk just to see if we could do like a makeshift one.
That
But
I reckon
I
that would look
couldn't
awesome.
find Jimi Hendrix either. And Gwen, I couldn't find Gwen. So I only
They're
had
lost in
Miles.
the
So Miles
store.
is in the back over here.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, they're
lost in the
lost in the
store.
store.
Lost in the
I'm
store.
currently building a Spider Verse shelf for my new on the shelf video, and Miles is
Oh yeah, that's
one of the
cool.
only ones I haven't posed yet. So
Yeah,
he's on the table. He'll be posed up later at some point.
yeah.
So yes, you're in the heat. I'm in the cold. We've switched, but it won't stay that way for long because Perth doesn't stay cold too long.
Cool.
We'll be we'll be heating back up very soon. Now we have our champion Mr. Producer, five cows out of five Dalmatians, off in studio in the house. If you know, you know that little tune. Um, and he feels it. It's boiling over there today as
It
well.
is. It is.
In the UK, I'm pretty sure. Um, you need to do inventory in the shop. Yes, you do.
I do.
He literally cannot find figures.
Yeah.
He's got that many boxes. I can only imagine. I imagine walking into your storage unit, and it's like that shot in Indiana Jones when he walks in, and there's this warehouse full of boxes, except more boxes, more
I'm
boxes.
rewatching the Indiana Jones films with my oldest one, and I'm
Nice.
just now realizing how old those movies were. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I think the
Mm,
Rage of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. I saw them after I saw three,
mm.
and I saw three in the movies.
Oh
It's one
wow.
of my first. Karate Kid and that one were one of the first movies I saw in the theater.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Look, I don't remember where I saw it, but I know we watched it a lot as a kid. Pretty sure we watched it more at home. I don't remember if we went to the movies. Probably would have been too young for a couple of them. I think when was it? 80s, 70s, 70s,
80, 80s, maybe 90
80s.
even. I think I was 11, 10, 11.
Oh, damn.
So it must have been 88, 88, 89. Yeah.
Mm. Well, yeah. Look. So many good movies coming out. We've got The Flash next week. This week coming right, and then we got Transformers, which I'm hearing pretty good things about,
Cool.
and then Indiana Jones. We're spoiled for movies,
Yeah, we are.
literally. And Secret Invasion, I'm pretty sure, is a week away, 2 weeks away. We haven't even
Oh man,
thought about that.
there's going to
Yeah,
be so much content.
so much content. Which to
Yeah.
choose? Which to choose?
Yeah.
Um, we also have Mr. Channel member Butch in the house. He
Hello,
says
working man Butch.
he is a working man. Hey, gang, I have a confession. I'm totally clueless about Spider Man Across the Spider Verse, but I'm interested to know what it's about on today's episode of The Rundown. Oh,
Butch,
Butch.
did you see Into the Spider Verse, or what did you think about it? I
Yeah,
am
if
curious
you've
to hear
seen
about
that, let
that.
us know.
Yeah, if you have.
Let us know, because they're fantastic stories.
Yeah.
William Owens is in the house. What's up, brother? Thanks for being here, William.
Hi man.
Have you
Welcome
seen it?
back.
Let us know. Let us know in the chat if you've seen it. Thank you. In Modular Cases, I'm currently working on redoing the whole display for a new video, or videos over the next couple of months. So that's what I'll be
Cool,
doing.
cool.
I've literally just been posing all week, doing no photography, no filming it for the first time in a while, and then I've actually just enjoyed like grabbing a figure, like standing there and looking at the display. I can't tell you how many times I've stood like where this desk, staring at it, like thinking, okay, that could go there, this could go here. Well,
Cool.
that's like one of my favorite things to do at the moment, so I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But thank you, Willem, and thanks for being here. I hope you've seen the movie. Let's get to it. If you are
Let's
here
do it.
watching and you have any points you want to throw if this is your first time in the show, hop in the chat, join the live chat on YouTube. If you're watching this after, that's why we refer to our chat so much. So if you want to see what's going on, I think you can bring it up and see the comments going on there, because that's what this show is about, chatting with all you guys, reading out your comments about how you feel about it, just as we do. So let's do it. We start off with Gwen, who I love this photo. I love this pose. I guess just starting the whole movie off from her perspective, I thought was nice and was a nice way to start. And I've just been reflecting back about the story choices. I think I need to see it again. I really do. But I've been reflecting back, and I love that they started from her point of view.
Yeah.
What did you think about this whole intro sequence and how we meet her and this scene and everything?
Okay, I'll have to preface this by saying that Into the Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies. Not only one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, but just one of my favorite movies. And this just trumped it. Look, he starts out by saying, let's do it a bit different this time. And it's completely different. The tone is different. We get Gwen instead of Miles. Already we see two different universes battling out. Because Vulture is kind of a Da Vinci type of Vulture. Da Vinci had all kinds of weird entrapment drawn out on paper, and he has the same color. And I think the flying things are even like a representative of what Da Vinci was drawing. And so that's already cool. And the whole tone and style is different than the first one. Dude, I loved it. It's when Anim just started to come to this part of the world before we knew what was up. I was still like 16 or something. So that's like 30 years ago now. But Japanese animators, they understood movement better than we did. And they could put, even in just in manga, so in the comics, they were able to put so much more movement into the drawings than we were used to, and that went into anime as well, so into the video version of it. But this kind of captures that. It feels a bit like it, where the movement is exaggerated and the action is up by it, and you just hype seeing this. Or yes, I was.
I can't agree more. Like the visual style of this film, is so much to take in. I mean, just look at the colors there at the background. Like the way the colors of the purple, the pink, the blue match with just how Gwen looks. Then you throw in all the different style choices and art choices of all the different characters they bring in. It was such a smart way to do it. Instead of making it all the same look, having those different looks, it gives you rewatchability just for the visuals, let alone how awesome the story is.
Yeah.
And I will say, we took Mila to this, and even she was watching this part because Gwen, she was like getting into Gwen, and I was like even this is drawing her in. Normally she doesn't care, we'll just play games or whatever. But she was vibing on this. And I took this picture. Look, I've got the way I've done the pictures for this week is I've got from the start to the finish of the film, which I was able to find pretty well, but then it's more so shots of the characters that are introduced as well.
Good.
So we can touch on those characters. So it's mainly the characters, but in order of their appearance in the film, kind of. So I picked Gwen first to start with this. But the whole battle scene was epic. Hearing her story when she went back to her world definitely set up the parent-child theme throughout, like her and her dad. and that arc, it set that up perfectly, I think.
You might even say that Gwen has a bigger arc than Miles in this one, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
you
makes
can.
sense for her to narrate. Yeah.
It
Anyway,
does.
I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it. Fantastic intro. And then we meet these guys.
Jessica Drew.
That was so cool. I had no idea about her character coming in with the motorbike, and
Me
she had
neither.
some
I
great
didn't know
action shots.
because I didn't. I don't watch trailers anymore on purpose. So I really didn't know who was in this. I only
She's in the
knew
trailer.
that. Yeah. So I only knew about Miguel O'Hara, but that was kind of it.
Actually, before we delve into this picture, let's just catch up on some of the comments here. So, William asked if we. Well, I'm afraid of Indiana Jones will be a disappointment.
Yeah, me too. So because whenever I'm afraid that I might get disappointed, I just lower my expectations to zero. So that's where I'm at, to be honest. I'm not looking forward to Indiana Jones. My expectations are zero, so I think I'll be entertained that way. I'm pretty sure I won't be disappointed because I'm expecting it to be the lesser of them all.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And then you can be pleasantly surprised if it
Yeah,
outdoes your expectations. Have you pre-ordered these guys?
Yeah, I did. I was kind of trying to dial down on getting stuff, but yeah, I did. After
Yeah.
seeing the movie, and then imagining younger Miles, teenage Miles, and then the third, that's too
Yeah.
good not to have.
Yeah.
There's so many options, and after seeing the movie, because the weird thing is that we got the figures before, well, at least we got the reveal before the movie, and they went through all this trouble like they did with the Justice League Superman, with the metallic body underneath and the shine coming through to the very thin suit. But after seeing the movie, it all makes sense because that's exactly what it looks like.
That's right. It looked great.
Yeah.
I actually love the new looking figure. I haven't ordered it, William, but I will get it. I don't generally pre-order. I just generally buy, but we'll see how that goes.
But it's such a different look from the one you have over there on your desk, with the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love the look of the suit.
me too.
That's the one. That's the one that I would leave him in his hero suit without any of the extra clothes on. This one is probably the style I'm going to keep this guy in. Probably just switch out the mask for the pose I'm going to do in the Mochi case display I'm doing right now. Yeah, but they look fantastic. Often says the first 15 minutes was Arcane Season 2.
I'm so looking forward to the continuation of Arcane. That was a hit.
Nice.
Oh no.
Oh no. Villain of the week.
No, don't worry.
No.
No, I love it.
Every frame is a painting. It is.
It is, yeah.
And Butch says, "Oh, the Spider-Verse was a nomination."
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
He's bleeding from his armpit.
All the hate for 2099. I even pre-ordered 2099 because
Yeah, he did.
I was looking at it like this. I love the head sculpt. I love the separate rolling eyeballs. I love the effect pieces with the swoosh when he's swiping. I love the nails on it, and I love the web pieces. The figure not so much, but to me it kind of feels like a posable 3D diorama for Miles and for Gwen. And who knows what else we'll get? Maybe we'll even get a Hobie or I don't know.
I really hope we do.
Yeah, or a Mayday Parker and a Peter B. Parker. Because
That
Young
would
Rich,
be-
Young Rich Toys only made the Peter B. Parker, and in hindsight, that would be a pretty cool figure to have. But kind of.
Why do you think Hot Toys didn't make him? I really wanted Peter B. Parker.
I don't think they thought the market was there, but after Into the Spider-Verse and after making this weird 2099, they might, right?
I can't see why they wouldn't.
They
I
might even
really think they.
they might even make Jessica Drew.
Yeah,
Dude,
I
would
see
love
her
that.
less likely than Peter B. Parker though. I think I want Peter B.
Why?
Just like these
we
guys?
already had the High
care.
Evolutionary, and now we have Jessica Drew. So it would kind of make sense that they would make her.
Either way, I think it would look pretty cool if they did.
Yeah.
Now, I
would
agree
love
with
a
you on the
Dopinder.
figure.
Dopinder Spidey.
He was hilarious.
Spider the Pinder.
He was hilarious. I do look at 2099 as opposed to his dream. That's how I look at it. I'd love to put him in, see what he can do without worrying about his suit damaging. That would be fun.
Yeah. And for me, it was a bit easier because I was getting into 1/12th, and they're like half this price. But 1/12th is really, 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 really small. So it made it less weird for me to get it.
Perfect. Well, they come in. We get an introduction to them, right? And then they go off. We learn about the team. She goes into the team, and then we move on to. I guess we'll touch on their characters more as we go, right?
Yeah,
As we
yeah.
go into the story. Then we come back to Miles in that suit that we just talked about. I quite like
Oh
the
wait,
red down the side.
if we delve into characters, maybe we need to go
Mm.
one back, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
Because as for Jessica Drew, she's the daughter of the High Evolutionary, and the fun thing is now that the High Evolutionary is black, then it would only make sense that Spider Woman was black as well. So I think this is the first time she was black, but I don't really know. Because
Okay.
normally she's like this is supposed to be like the same one that we had back in the 80s, I think, or 90s, with the
Okay.
Spider Woman cartoons. It's the same character, but
Oh wow, I
different.
didn't know.
Yeah, and
That's cool.
and she was also an agent of Shield, I guess, and a New Avenger. So
Wow.
she might have a couple of roles.
Okay, so I don't know the history of 2099 as much. Can you delve in and give us a little bit of info on that? Do you know much about his history? Because I'm actually coming into this.
Yeah, I
Know that
didn't
much.
know anything about Miguel O'Hara before I got the 299 suit, and then I did a piece in Six Skill Posters about character expression. To be honest, I don't know if, because it's the future Miles, of course. I don't know if this origin story will be the same as the comic origin story. So I really don't know. But I really like the idea that he thinks he's right and he wants to correct. He's like the most advanced Spider-Man there is at this point. And that's why he kind of takes on the leader role to get the multiverse.
It seems like he really is the leader. Like it's his operation. It feels like.
Well, in the movie at least, he lost too much, and that's due to destroying a Nexus event, which I kind of think they explain Nexus events a bit different than they do in Loki. But and that's why it's his sacred mission to protect all the Nexus events. And the fun thing I think over here is that in the movie they treat it not as a fact. They start out with it treating it as a fact, like they do with everything in Marvel. But then they're kind of doubting: is he actually right, or is it okay to change a couple of things without
Yeah,
doing anything
exactly.
drastic?
I really, really, really liked the deep story between why he does what he does because he's the
Yeah.
protagonist in a way, but he's not a bad guy.
No, in
You know what
his
I mean?
mind,
Like
he's like the hero.
that's right. But and the question begs, like, do you mess around with trying to change something that is supposedly meant to happen
Yeah.
and affect lots of other people for one person? That's
Yeah. So
just such
in
a
his
deep
mind,
story.
things are supposed to happen. And
Yeah.
now and later on the team is kind of doubting if that's really the case. And Hobie doesn't give any Fs. He just wants anarchy and chaos, and he just wants to have
Yeah,
things up.
he's completely different. Yeah, he's
I
completely
love his
different.
character.
All of them they had such great personality.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll touch on that part of the story later on when we get to the main event. But then we come back to Miles. He's a year older. It's only a year later, really. I think that's what they said. He's been on his
Okay.
own for a year. I'm pretty sure he said that. Yeah, a year and a bit. If anybody knows in the chat, let us know if you can remember. But his whole sequence, like I've got a couple pictures to cover his basically his intro back. So he's there cruising, he's talking to us about what's been going on
Yeah.
his way to meet his parents. Basically, will be the next one, and then the introduction of, I guess, one of the villains of the film, Spot.
Yeah.
So they're the next three. So um, it was really cool, fun vibe. Had that feel that he's kicking ass. He's got his skills up. That's the impression I got anyway. That he's
Hmm.
much more capable now. And it kind of shows
Yes,
you
he's
that.
more capable and more confident, but still he's a bit too lanky, just like a kid his age would be, right? So that's the
Mm,
when it comes to posing. If we delve into posing a bit,
mm,
because you could just pose every spider figure in the same way with the same type of personality, but I think with Miles it should be more impulsive, and also he should not really be um, completely used to his limbs being a bit longer than they're getting.
hmm
Because he's in puberty, right? So he has like this growth spurt. Um, so what happens is that your brain doesn't adjust yet to the length of your movements. So the movements are bigger than they really need to be.
mm,
So that's the cool thing for me looking at this Miles. So I was actually in the
mm.
movie just looking at it and I think, dude, I need to remember that for when I post Miles.
Yeah, it's so funny when you do that. I do that when I'm watching things. I'm like, oh, that angle there. It's like I love the angles in between. Let's say someone's landed or whatever, and like a superhero landing. I like
Yeah,
some of the movements in between, like partially getting up or something like that. I'm like, oh, from that angle, it could look sick,
yeah.
or something like that. I agree with with how lanky he is. I imagine the pose I'm going to try with him for my scene is him like it reminds me, I guess, would be if I akin it to the PS5 Miles, which I've started playing. When you're swinging in that, the way you can fall sometimes is all out of control, like
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
type of look, limbs
yeah,
going everywhere, like
yeah.
exactly like you said. I think that's a great point to make. But I love his
And the,
look. I love his
and the
athletic
possible eyes
look.
will be awesome with that.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah, yeah. This one I'm going to use the spider mask for the pose, but I do love these head sculpts. Like that's why we've got it on now. I just like I have to have
Mm,
some time with him, just having the head sculpt before I
yeah,
put that away. Um, but then the introduction of his family again, which I love the family dynamic.
yeah, dude.
Absolutely love the family. His dad's awesome. His mum's awesome. She got more
Yeah,
time to shine this time around, I thought. Um,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
shows. I mean, just this whole intro part of him shows you the classic trope of the Spider-Man struggling to juggle everything. Types, he's starting to get into that now. The more he's doing becoming Spider-Man, the more he's missing out on other
yeah.
things or missing
Is
things.
this before he meets his dad in the suit?
Um, geez,
I don't know when
I
that
think
happens.
it's I think it's after this bit because he goes off
Okay.
to fight Spot again. Like he meets
Mm,
him in the store, and then
yeah,
he thinks he deals with him, and then he comes here for this, and
yeah.
then he sees him outside the window. Yeah, I think he meets. It's after that, but I
Okay.
don't have a picture of that. I don't have a picture of
Cool.
that. It's just the fight of Spot next. Would you want to delve into this whole intro scene? Like, hey, what did you think about the introduction of Miles? Me personally, I thought it was great seeing him in action. You get to see him in action.
Yeah.
He's talking to us a bit. We get to see the family again. They fit it all in.
Yeah, and I love the whole dynamic of this because all they care about is that he grows up well and he does well in school, while
Often
he's
says
off
before.
doing everything before, outside as Spider-Man, fighting a supervillain. Um, and they're just
Yeah.
being a mom and a dad.
Yeah. I really like that. Often says he loves that the mum is Captain LaGuardia from Dexter. I didn't realize. I used to watch Dexter.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I never really got into Dexter, so I wouldn't know.
Mm. Yeah, she's the captain.
But
That's
cool,
cool.
thanks. Thanks.
Um, good little Easter egg there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought this was cool. I mean, the fact that he wants to go away, I just thought of when Mila wants to get away from me. I'm never going to let her get away from me. I'm like, everywhere you go, I'll go. And here Miles is trying to get away. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you leave your parents like that,
Yeah.
you bastard? Then he sees Spot out the window and gets back into this battle. Now, what are your thoughts on this villain? Because I didn't know much about him, but I loved the callback to the first film where when they broke in and
Through
stole
the
the thing.
donut,
And
yeah.
oh man,
Yeah, so this was Agatha's colleague, right? And
yes,
when the collider exploded, it was a bit too close, so he became Spot. And then he was looking for all kinds of things, and he brought spiders into this universe. So the 42 spider came into the world and bit Miles, right? Um,
Yeah.
I really like the. Oh yeah, Bagel. Thanks. I really like the. Could you could you call Spot a villain just when you meet him trying to rob the ATM? He was like a funny character. At first, I thought he looked
Yeah.
like a sidekick from Miles, but he was so funny.
Yeah. But I think that's what makes some of the best villains. It's generally
Yeah,
like, a lot of the times the best villains are the weaker, less opposing person who becomes so disjointed and angry that they turn villainous. They get power. He like gets power and then
yeah, because
starts to
that's how
become
it goes
villains.
in real world, right? Every
Yeah.
time you see like this major violence outburst from kids, it's just kids being bullied or being
Yeah.
thrown out of society or
The
being
generally the
estranged.
maybe
Yeah,
the weaker one,
yeah, yeah,
if you with that as a broader term, but if that makes sense.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, no, Spot. Look, the intro of Spot, having him as the villain from what happens in the first film, was a great, just another Spider-Man trope, something that he did before comes back to haunt him
Yeah,
in this character, without him being like the main. He's not a main part of the film, really, even though he is. If that
he
makes
is.
sense.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really is. And um, so you kind of get to like him when he's trying to rob the ATM, or at
Hmm.
least I did. And he's still trying to figure out his powers back then because he's not even able to get the money from the ATM very easily. Um, so he
Yeah,
gets
which is funny.
stronger, just finding out more about himself and just getting more colliders to explode in front of him just to increase his powers. And when I think it was last week, right, when we did Phase 3 with Black Panther.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the thing I didn't like about Killmonger, um, amongst other things, was the fact that it's just Black Panther. It's just like a guy with the same powers in a
Hmm.
different color. And
Hmm.
this is just a completely different skill set. So
Mm.
from the get go, I like that a lot more.
Mm. Yeah, he had crazy powers. Like the fights were hilarious with
Yeah,
using the portals and things, and that whole part of it was done so well in the visual style. It was freaking.
and in the
It was
figure.
crazy. Oh yeah, the figure would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would
No,
be
I
cool.
mean in the Miles figure, you get the base with the
Oh
foot and the
yes,
hand.
yes you do. Lukagi's in the house. What's up, brother?
It's a bagel.
Um, often says you're doing what Miles did. You're underestimating him.
No, he was still getting used to it when he's trying to rob the ATM. He wasn't that
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah, that's
He
right.
knew. He knew. It's okay.
And then some. I can't remember. He feels like he deals with him. He talks to his dad. That's right. They have a bit of a closer moment, um, which I loved. But then Gwen
And oh
comes
wait, wait,
back.
wait, because Alvin's right because Miles did underestimate him, but he also mocks him, and I think that's also what
Mm.
sets Spot off.
Yeah, he did actually,
Yeah,
because that's just Miles being funny. But then,
yeah,
yeah, 100% right. Then Gwen comes back. One of my favorite shots was this when they're sitting upside down. I loved it.
yeah.
So
I think
good.
even before when they were on different sides, I think
Yeah.
that, and I also loved how Gwen stuck herself to the ceiling because she
Mm.
stands there and then she shoots the webs and she draws herself. I don't know why though,
Yeah.
because I would imagine she could have
Just
just
look
sat
cool.
down, but it
It
was
just looked
very
cool.
cool. Yeah,
They just look cool. This is seriously the best animation I think I've ever seen in these films.
yeah.
Just the whole look and feel is made moments like this just look amazing.
And look,
Often
this
agrees, he
picture is
does.
just enough to, in your mind, you could see like 5 minutes of a scene by just this picture alone.
Yes,
Him staring
I
off
love.
and her just leaning just a little bit more.
Yeah, I loved it. Even the animation with how her face looked, how their faces looked when they were hanging upside down,
Yeah,
even looked like it had some gravity to it.
yeah.
I really like that. With the hair as well. She comes back, and then because she's tracking Spot, right? So she tracks him back to the thing. Um, pardon me, I'm losing my voice.
Hmm,
Um,
that's not good.
no. I'll survive. But yeah, she tracks. She tracks.
I'm hoping you will do it. It would be very sloppy rundown if you just fall over and
Yeah,
die.
I'll have a drink in a second. Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can not, that'd be great. But I guess her blaming herself, because she's going to end up blaming herself. She comes back and interacts with him because she can't stay away. Basically,
Yeah.
she'd have just come to see Spot, but no, she had to go and see him. I love that draws him back in because that's all he needed, and ties into the the finale, the end of the first film with her coming back.
Yeah.
And coming to see him, which was awesome. All just connected so well. And then she meets the family. I love this
Gulanda.
whole. Oh, I loved it. I love the whole scene of him being late for the birthday party. Another classic Spidey, just messing up. And we just get to see more of the parents, which I love because this gives us. It just moves the story along with Gwen and Miles' story, but it also gives us more of the parents, like building us up to like them better.
Yeah.
Which obviously is going to play a better part later on in the film. Just
Mm.
magical. Just the way it's written, the whole story,
Yeah.
it gives everybody more time. It really does give you a lot of story without pushing it down your throat when you sit back and reflect on it, of all their relationships. I loved that part.
Yeah, I loved it. And when I was here, I also thought, I love that she still cuts off the right side of her hair.
Yeah.
Because she did that because of Miles, right? She had to
Yeah.
because of Miles. And
Yeah.
somehow she kept it up. So that's like, only that is just like a symbol of her still holding Miles dear.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they end up, let's say whatever happens in the third one, they've done a good job of building their relationship through the first film and now into this film.
Yeah.
Of them, there's something there, but nothing's there, if that makes sense. But you feel it's there. You know he likes her. Even his relationship with, like when we meet the rock star guy, I forgot his name, Hobie.
Hobie.
When we meet Hobie, and you see Miles's jealousy about what potentially going to happen
Yeah.
between. Oh, just all that.
Yeah,
Just
you're saying
reminded
nothing's
when you-
there, but there's a lot there.
Yeah. Lukaki says, "I'm really excited to watch this again. It's a really great to look at."
Yeah, so I was about to rewatch this in the cinema, but I didn't because I thought the first time I want to rewatch this is at home, me just scrolling through things back and forth, because it was so awesome.
Yeah, so cool. Now, so let's kick into it. Then they go on the mission. He follows her to India, or another world that's Indian area, where we meet Dopinder.
Dopinder. So I think last week when my name was Pavitra Prabhakar, you hadn't seen the
I
movie.
didn't pick up on
yet,
it.
right?
Yeah, I didn't pick up. On it. Now I know. Look at that hair. As a man with bad hair,
Look at that.
who shaves his head. Look at that
It's
hair.
great hair.
I even
He
love him.
was a great Spidey all round.
He was. He actually was. Now, a figure of him would be freaking epic in your
It would be.
Spider-Verse.
It would be.
That outfit, and that hair, like sculpted hair, I reckon they could
Dude,
do
I
that
wish
really good.
Hot Toys just did Oscar Isaac had sculpt because we're getting one
Oh
from
man,
Social Toys, I think. But
I think it's so
it's his third role.
yeah, come on, give him
he,
some,
needs, he needs to get one.
give him some
Fourth
freaking
role.
love, for Christ's sake.
If you count Apocalypse, it's fourth.
And I've heard he's a collector. Like, how
Yeah.
upset would he be
Yeah,
at that?
yeah.
The two cakes thing seemed like an important theme during the movie. You can't have
Yeah.
your cake and eat it too. Yeah. Yeah, it's that classic story. It's the sacrifice story as well. Sacrificing your loved one for the good of humanity, almost, as that is what Miguel's going on about. Yeah, loved the introduction of him. The artwork in this scenes were
Yeah.
just, again, I'm just looking at the picture, just tripping out. And
Yeah.
look at this. What the frick? It's like a comic book. Literally like a comic book.
Yeah.
This whole, having
Yeah, it
Gwen
is.
kick Miles, the background, the architecture, all the lines, man. Like you can
The
literally-
swoosh.
any of these stills could be a poster on your wall.
Yeah, true.
Any of them. And Lakagi says, "Japan has come a long
Young
way since
Kirsten
2015."
Dopinder.
Yeah. Offer says fire screenshot.
Is
Yes.
it his or yours? That's yours.
These are mine, baby. These are mine, baby.
Damn.
Look at me rolling. Andre's
Oh.
in the house. Jenna member. Hello, Iron Brothers and Sisters. I
Iron
love
brothers
that.
and sisters
I just want to read it like that. Iron Brothers and Sisters.
in a world.
Just in a world. Now, just need to upload the new pictures, but this whole fight sequence was amazing. Meeting Dopinder was just a fun thing. He didn't do much else after this whole sequence.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was kind of there in the background, wasn't he? But
True.
he didn't do much else. But he got some time to shine. It also made me wonder about how they chose to give people what characters time to shine, like to fit
Yeah.
all the Spideys in. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of them.
And it worked.
Yeah. Now, is Dopinder been around much more in Spider-Man? Like, because I'm only
Dude, I don't
learning
know.
about-
I've never seen Dopinder before, so I wouldn't know.
If anybody knows in the chat, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting some more here. Oops. Hang on. Andre Logan needs his props. These screenshots are fire. Yes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Write down the date.
Hawkeye strikes finally. Oh, shit, man.
Finally.
You know what that means. You know what we do.
Dude, you could also play the roasted one after after Lukaku's remark.
Not doing it on this one, you bastards. You're right, often. Well done, John. You did something good. Very proud. Yes.
You
Screenshot
did
it.
something good.
Look at that. I don't want to go to another screenshot. I need to just leave it on that one.
Yeah, soak it in, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to
I'm just
rewatch
having-
the comments. Just rewatch the comments and screenshot those.
Do an Instagram post on it.
And do a banner.
Uh.
Just do a banner.
Of all my saved. All the saved ones.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, a couple more pictures to add. Sorry, guys. But this, I thought, what a picture to leave on the screen to look at. Now, where they go from here? So he saves. Actually, we could talk on this if you want to kick off while I add these extra pictures. He saves the police chief because that's a big part of the story.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah.
So, do you want to delve into that a bit? What that means? Because that's
Yeah,
going to
so-
carry on.
If I remember correctly, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Loki they first defined Nexus events. Well, maybe in WandaVision, but mainly Loki. And I think they said that a Nexus event is something that happens, and then you branch an alternate timeline. And this is kind of a different way around it. So it's fun to see that they all stumble upon the same concept of the multiverse, or the, what do you call it, the human arachnoid
Yes.
polymultiverse. And so they all stumble upon it, but they all have their own theories. And the fun thing is that in Spider-Verse they actually treat it like a theory and not people knowing what it is. And they call Nexus events that need to happen in every universe. So police captain needs to die. Uncle Ben needs to die, or their version of an Uncle Ben.
Aunt May.
A Spider-Man
Okay.
needs to be bitten, but only one Spider-Man needs to be bitten, not two.
Yeah.
And in this universe, two Spider-Man get bitten because of
Yeah.
Spot and also because of Miles. So Spider-Man 2099 is actually trying to save all Nexus events, so the timeline just continues as it should be.
Do you think, I was just thinking, do you think he'll have anything to do with, if you remember at the end of Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, Strange and Charlize Theron, her character comes into play because of another event. Was it a Nexus? I don't think they call it a Nexus event in that.
Well, I think they
was
kind
some-
of called it like canon and Nexus. Just, I think they used both terms.
Right?
Like
Because
the
she
same
says,
thing.
hey, there's been something, you need to come with me. Often,
Yeah.
or anybody in the chat, can you remember? What did she call it? Because it makes me think of that incursion. There you go. Often. Incursion. So is that,
Incursion with Strange and
so remember when they're saying at the end of Doctor Strange, that
Oh,
Clea,
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
is
those
Clea
incursions,
comes through and says,
yeah,
"New incursion."
yeah.
But is that similar to a Nexus event? then?
no,
Or it's
because
not?
Nexus
Is that-
events they it's about what happens to a character, An incursion is two worlds almost colliding because of because of
That's right.
something that happens. Yeah. So
Imagine if
you
Miguel
could
comes
see
in
an
to meet
incursion.
them at that
Sorry.
point. I was going to say, what made me think of that is Miguel end up meeting up with them at some point. That would be epic. They brought him into live action. And he collided with Doctor Strange and them. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Maybe I'm just thinking on a random,
Yeah, I don't know if
random.
it's your mic or my internet. Wait, I think my internet's fine, but I think your sound.
Don't tell me it's the mic.
I don't know. I
Don't
know.
tell
Maybe
me.
it's my internet. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, I'll get off that point. Now, we got Renz in the house. I'll just catch up to him. Renz, good morning, amazing people. Good morning, Renz. Thank you for being here, sir. You got my back in the chat. I need you. Hold me down in case these guys come for me. Yeah, see, look. That's why I'm leaving that picture up. He ruined a canon event. That's right. But
Yeah,
again,
but I think they use it. I think they use Canon and Nexus both. And to be honest, if they do, this explanation makes more sense than the one in Loki, because a Nexus is always something where other lines come to, and that's exactly how they visualize it over here, right? With all the spider webs and just a Nexus being in the middle, or like the corner points of it. So it would make a lot more sense. And like I said, I think they use them both, but I still need to see it again.
Yeah.
But I think they do. But so things just here need to happen to the character in all universes, and he kind of spoils it. Or
I wonder how that's going to play out in the third one. Now, Nexus events are different, says often. Miles intervening would then, would make a Nexus event.
Yeah, so if you watch Loki, that would be the explanation that they would give you in Loki. And if I remember correctly, they explained a bit different here, but we'll see.
Incursion. So I'm just catching up on those. It looks fire. Renz is drawing a Hobie too. If no one's seen it, props. And Mike grabs out. It wasn't my mic. I'm pretty sure it was.
It's either or. It's either or. It's either the screenshot or the mic.
I've got a high-functioning operation right now. I don't know if your mic or my internet. Come on, Anthony. You already know the answer. No, it's his internet. God damn it! It's his internet. Hawk mic strikes again. God damn it, guys. Did it sound crackly for you guys? Because if it only sound crackly for Anthony, it's his internet.
It's not only crackly, it just went off a bit.
Anthony, go to your room. Next slide. Then we meet Hobie. There were so many different pictures of his, but his animation was just crazy.
Dude,
his style of animation, how they did it.
I would love a Hobie figure.
Well, you kind of already have one.
Yeah, dude, that's actually like a Hobart figure, but not a unmasked one.
Yeah, I get you. I think if anyone else has seen it, let us know. But I saw on Instagram someone did it. They've got the files for a Hobie to print like a head sculpt. Yeah, someone's actually got a file of his.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
With these different hairstyles. Yeah, maybe not. I tell you what, though, I'm on the train of wanting to create a Daniel Craig James Bond. I think I'm going to really try and go for it. I'm going to try and find someone. I've seen V.Collectibles has had an amazing James Bond head sculpt. I just want a Bond. I love those movies. I loved him in those movies. I want a Bond in the collection. And I want to do a video, and I'll buy like mercenaries and have him just kick the shit out of everybody, shoot everybody, John Wick style. Anyway. What are the guys saying? Is this Kamala's YouTube channel? It reminds me of Kamala Khan, yeah.
What's it called again? Baby Sloth? Or what was it called again?
Yeah, Baby
Sloth Productions or something?
Baby Sloth, yeah.
No,
yeah.
Like that.
Are you saying that because of the colors? And just how that's the type of imagery she had in the show? Yeah.
But why would she have this on her YouTube channel, though? She wouldn't have known Hobie, right?
No. Yeah, let us know what you mean by that often.
I think just because of the style. The style, because it's cool.
Yeah, Andre, you like that one? Go to your room. Classic parent move when they know.
Dude, who is
they're
that?
wrong.
Is it like, I think it's Bill Burr, right? Who answers the question of if motherhood is the hardest job in the world. Do you know that bit?
I don't know the bit, but I know a bit of Bill Burr, but I don't remember. Look, yeah, ask an Iron Dory if I remember something. No, I don't. I don't remember.
Because he was like, being a mom is not the hard. A stay-at-home mom is not the hardest job in the world. I mean, any job where you can just work out of your pajamas and just cocked up like a like a punishment and just say go to your room. That's not the hardest job in the world.
Go to your room. Do it.
Go to your room.
That wouldn't work on Miller anyway. The style looks similar if you've watched the first episode. Yeah, the style of the animation. Okay, that reminds me. Yeah,
Dude, but he looks different every scene.
Yeah, I know. So crazy. Apparently, RDJ is filming something in Sydney this year.
You need to do a post and
Oh,
show
do a road trip.
or a
Oh,
post that.
I need to do a post up with Iron Man with him. Oh, how fun would that be?
It would be fun.
He says yes, it's Bill Burr. Yeah, Bill Burr comparing putting a DVD player
Yeah, like
truck
a warrior, yeah.
or rigger.
That's so hilarious.
He's got some funny shit. But Hobie, so I don't know much about him, but other than this, his like portrayal in this made me actually look at the Spider-Man figure of him. Like I never really looked too much into that figure, but then to see him in this brought back.
It's it's a cool figure. It's one of them, because I always have the problem that I need to put stuff back into boxes to get other things out and just rotate them.
Yeah,
And I
that
could
makes sense.
never bring myself to put him back into the box because he has like this denim vest with the buttons and he has the chucks and the guitar looks awesome. It's just such a badass look.
Yeah, such a badass look.
Yeah.
I've been hyped on the spot. Like I've been literally posing Spider-Man figures this whole week. It just got me so amped up watching this movie. But then actually, before we move on to
Mayday.
those guys, his character again in the small time that he was in there, because he helped at the end of the India event, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he helped there. 'Cause that's where they met him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think it did.
He did, right? Yeah. And then he comes here, and just he was so chill, and the way he was just into the anarchy side of it was really cool. Very punk rock of him. He was very punk rock.
Yeah, he's just Jinx. When we're talking about Arcane, this is Jinx. He's just neutral chaos, because you have all these like archetypes in roleplay, and usually chaos people are not that great, but sometimes they're just neutral. He's neutral. He's
Yeah.
not good or bad. He just wants chaos.
It's so cool. He does. He wants chaos, but in such a fun way. Like it only makes sense that he was playing with the baby, like that he was talking to Mayday. Like it just made so much sense.
It just
is all
makes
I
so
know.
much sense.
Is I like the Spider-Man suit in the game.
Yeah,
yeah. That's all I knew coming into it. We should do a watch along when it's out on
Dude,
streaming. That
I
would
would
be fun.
like watch parties, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be fun. Look, if you guys are ever down to do that, I'm down to do that. Do something different.
Yeah, it would be difficult with the timing maybe, but watch parties could be fun.
Watch parties would
Mayday.
be cool. And then he comes back. And he had a small part in this, but still, every time he's on the screen, I just love his character.
Yeah, me too.
He's so good.
I think it's hard not to love this character, right?
Yeah, he's so lovable. And then the fact that he's got May now after the first film.
Yeah.
Bro.
And it's just the 5 o'clock shadow is perfect. His hair is perfect. He's so nonchalant, but still capable. And now he has Mayday. And I think the coolest part about Mayday is like a better version of Jack Jack. You know, when you had what was it called? The Invincibles? Was it Invincibles? It was, right?
Incredibles?
Incredibles, yeah. And you had the kid with all the powers, and he was just insane. But Mayday is like the controlled version of it, and she just likes action. And it's just their secret. Every dad will know this. It's just their secret, and mom shouldn't find out that they're doing stuff that mom probably won't condone. So, and I like the fact that at first he just pulls the hat over her, And then the second time when you say as we're going in, and she pulls the hat over her face.
Oh, look, it just warmed my heart. It really did. It's just, it's so, just so heartwarming. That's the only way I can really put it. Funny, hilarious. Of course, he's the cheeky dad. Of course, she's the chaotic baby that has all these powers already. It was just fantastic. And the fact that when she was playing with Hobie was even better.
Yeah.
Their whole sequence. Oh, man. But all these characters hold a dark secret that they have not told Miles. How could they? Let's not forget.
You're not supposed to happen.
Very dark secret. But again, before we move on from him, love to see his character back. Love to see the continuation of his story, knowing that he's a bit happier than he was in the last film. Gives him a great story arc without too much time needed to do it. Miles has come to, what's this spider world called again that they're in? I can't remember. But they come to meet.
It's not 616, I think. It's not 9999. It's not 42.
Somewhere else.
I forgot.
Right. If someone knows, let us know.
Maybe someone will know.
But they come to meet.
We'll call it 2099.
Miguel. Yeah. Spider headquarters, where they all come to hang out. I love this whole world they created. The lobby. There you go. Is it just called the lobby?
I don't know. But in any game, it would be the lobby. Yeah. The green room.
Now, there's the green room. There's a lot of story that happens here that gives us a lot of info onto, connections even to, I'll just show you the next picture. We see clips of Garfield.
Yeah.
We saw a clip, I think I didn't get a picture of it, but I know pretty sure we saw Toby, and do we see Tom? Do we see Tom Holland in there somewhere? I can't remember.
I don't know. We do see Donald Glover, so that's kind of
we
the
saw
Tom
Donald
Holland. Sorry,
Donald
Glover. Yeah,
it is. Yes.
So that's kind of the Tom Holland version.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean the Tom Holland universe.
It is, because that's where he's from. That's right. That was cool. That was a cool callback to that movie.
Yeah. It's also a cool callback to the creation of Miles, even.
Yeah. True. Fortress. There you go. So a lot of great callbacks.
Fortress Veritaris.
That's a cool name, often. The Saving Tom from Beyond the Spider-Verse. Ooh.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Well, they've mixed in live action. So what do you think about the mixing live action in with this, I guess?
So, yeah. So you're asking me what I think about mixing in live action, but you don't ask me what I think about mixing in the Lego movie. I love that like Doctor Strange, just weaving everything together, just hinting at the connection with the regular MCU more and more. So that's pretty cool.
That's right.
And so they will also do like a live action Miles, right? I think they announced that. So that makes sense. Like I said, it's cool that they put in Donald Glover because Brian Michael Bendis actually created Miles after seeing Donald Glover in a Spider-Man suit. So he kind of is Miles, Donald Glover is. So that's cool to see. But it's also cool because it's a continuation of the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy, right? Because he gets set on a good path, but somehow he becomes the Prowler. So curious to see that as well. And then getting the Amazing Spider-Man in there and just seeing all the... Well, I still think they also call it Nexus events, but let's call it canon events then.
I like that they called it canon too, though. That just because that's what a lot of people talk about being in the storyline. Is it canon? Is it canon? I like how they did that.
And I also like that they showed Venom in there because that kind of means that they will connect Venom. And I was also thinking maybe they will bring in Null now in a different version of King in Black, with Null being like the god of all the symbiotes. But then instead of all the symbiotes existing in one universe, maybe he'll draw all of the symbiotes into one universe. That would be a cool variation to that.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they're going to bring now.
Because I mean, this whole sequence of them being here and Miguel running them, like them running Miles through everything, gave us so many connections to everything. I was just thinking about it. He also mentions Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth, blah blah blah. So he even mentions Tom. Now thinking about it, do you remember him saying that?
Sorry?
Do you remember Miguel saying that? Do you remember him saying he talked about Doctor Strange and the little nerd on Earth?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, like that's another callback.
To Tom Holland, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Where
the
are we?
nerd.
Oh wait, I'm missing
Venom is
4
trash.
hours. And
Come on,
getting
man, I get
the
ice cream here. Venom is
getting
trash.
getting the store owner was pretty cool from Venom.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was pretty clever. That's deep cuts, not showing you Venom, but if you've seen the movies. Was there any Morbius references, says Lukagi? That would have been great. I also think that episode of Community with Donald was playing on one of the TVs in the film.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I really didn't even
didn't
see it.
I reckon when we rewatch those bits, we're going to
Yeah,
find heaps of little Easter eggs in there.
Cool.
I don't recall seeing anything on Morbius. I still haven't seen Morbius.
I kind of enjoyed Venom, to be honest. I liked the first one, and then I only heard bad things about the second one, and I saw that one at home, so my expectations were lower than zero, and because of that, I kind of liked that one as well. So
I watched the second one at home, and I just felt like it just was too short. There wasn't enough building of the villain. I don't know, and not enough action.
yeah, for
That's
me,
just me.
the second one was a bit like Thor 4, where they kind of overdid the humor. They overshot it a bit, which made it less fun, but I still kind of enjoyed it.
What was I saying here? Into the cha, I don't know what you're saying
Not the
there.
character of Venom, but the movies of Venom.
Ah, okay.
Even though he loves Tom Hardy.
Yeah, okay. Earth 19999. There you go. That was the Earth that he says. That's right. Best bit of Venom for me was the post credits where it shows Spider-Verse. I haven't seen Venom 2, but the Carnage figure does look cool.
And I always love
so then
Woody Harrelson, so
yeah, he's great.
yeah.
So more introduction of all the awesome Spider-Man. I've kind of jumped ahead in the slides because that's where we are, but this is after Miles decides to go off on his own. But that whole build-up where he's figuring out, and this is heavy spoilers of the story, guys, especially if you guys haven't seen it, but when they're talking about...
So now it's heavy spoilers.
This is definitely heavy spoilers. About the big turn, though, like the turn of Miles deciding to make his own, like become a man almost.
Becoming an
he's
outlaw.
Deciding that, yeah. Which was a great way for them to take it, because now he's upset at everybody for holding, for holding the secret from him, knowing that for existing, knowing his dad is going to die, or his dad's meant to die, and knowing that Gwen's knew her father was going to die and had accepted it, and then goes back. Like we don't even talked about that part. The fact that she goes back.
I also love that they get it wrong. That's the I really like that, because in most movies it's like, okay, this is the problem. Oh damn, this is the problem. We're going to get it. We get it or we don't get it. But they just misinterpret the problem. So I loved that part.
It was fantastic. So he goes on the run, and they're like, "Get Spider-Man!" And the perfect setup for this scene.
The pointy scenes.
The picture I had found too is way bigger than this. It just couldn't all fit in there. It was like, it was huge. That starts off the chase. Many more Spider-Men in here. We got to see so many. I can't even like.
This is reversed.
I don't even know who's who. Yeah, I think it is reversed.
Yeah,
that's just how the picture came. Yeah, coming through there. I think this is actually concept art. This is either the concept art or
no. It looks like it came from the show, to be honest. But then they go from right to left.
Yeah, they do. But Ben Reilly, we didn't talk about him. It was cool to see him in there as well. I forgot to talk about him.
He was so dramatic.
He was dramatic. Spider horse, the freaking dinosaur horse. You got the cowboy horse, the cowboy Spider-Man. Like, what else was there? Spider. God, there's so many Spider-Man. The whole big chase sequence. I've only got a couple of slides left, so I kind of just want to
Yeah,
talk
so I
about.
was thinking about the chase sequence, and first I thought, all those Spideys can't get one Spidey. How does that make sense? And then I thought,
Mm,
well, the way Spider Sense works, it only senses when you're in danger, right? So then you're able to avoid it. And in,
mhm,
we even saw Tom Holland versus Doctor Strange,
mhm,
where his body just reacted to danger without him even being inside his body.
mhm.
Um, so apparently you can dodge almost anything that comes to get you, but it doesn't make you any better at getting something that you want to get.
Mm,
So it kind of makes
that's
sense
true.
that they all try to get him, but he just is able to get away.
Yeah. I also just thought that he's different. Like he's different. That's why they can't get him. Like they're kind of setting him up as a special Spider-Man. Oops.
Maybe, but I
Yes.
think the mechanisms of Spider Sense would be enough for me to explain why they couldn't get him.
Yeah.
And then he
There's
died.
that was funny. Even
Let
like
me
the guy's
guess.
just got a
Let me
Spider-Man
guess.
mask on, but he's got a suit on.
Because he's seen every Spider-Man as a patient, right? So it's
Yeah.
because the therapist is like the oldest Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
so he's seen all the iterations go through his chambers, and he says,
Man, I
"Okay,
want
so
that.
guys,
I want that Ben Riley figure now. I know I'm kicking myself.
dude, it's a cool figure."
Wish I had that. Definitely want him. Peter Parker car was
Yeah, Peter
underrated.
Parker. I laughed my ass off.
Classic. Um, all the build up emotionally and story part, especially when it got to this part as well, when they're
With
all
Mayday on
chasing
there.
him. Yeah.
Why take Mayday?
Uh, and it broke my heart when he's like talking to them about, them knowing and not telling him.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that he wasn't meant to exist. Oh man, all
You
of that
feel
whole
that, right?
part.
Yeah,
You do. You do, and it makes perfect sense. Like, and it just
yeah,
ties into the first film so much
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
that spider was from another. Like, I'll be watching them together back to back when it comes out, and I'm able to get it. Like,
yeah.
I already know that.
Dude, it's not so well.
Um, and then this part, when he did get hold of him, Miguel
Yeah,
was very imposing. Perfect voice actor choice for Oscar
yeah,
Isaac to do it.
yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Didn't he electrocute him
We
here? I
we
think
really need to
from
do a
memory.
post up with Oscar Isaac with this 2099. It'll be
No,
easy to
bro.
pose. It's a
Yeah,
it's training wheels. It's a training wheels figure.
yeah. The delivery, yeah, Shamok Morgan, a delivery of "Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing" is so
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It was. I heard he said he wanted to be the live action Miles.
yeah.
Can you imagine? That'd be cool.
But who's
If
it going
like,
to be? I would love it to him
I
to
don't know.
be him, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they've casted him. We need Andy Samberg sculpt. Which one was he again? Andy Samberg?
Dude, I don't
Which
know
character
Andy
was he?
Samberg. We need everything.
Yeah, give us everything. And I chucked this picture on there of him because that's when he's successful. So, did you know when he gets away, obviously, and he goes through the thing? I didn't think that he would go to where the spider was from. I thought he was going back to his, but he went back to where the spider was from. And I didn't realize that until he told his literally
Yeah,
until
but
he told his
that's the
mum.
whole point that you're not supposed to realize that, right?
Yeah, but you didn't pick up on that. Like I'm
No,
just
no, no,
thinking
no,
because I'm
no.
I'm pretty naive.
No, they did that pretty well because
All right,
you
I think they
think
did that with.
him and Gwen will meet up at his parents, and they don't.
Yeah, and just what a twist. I didn't tell. Okay, look, I found out when you messaged me and said that it was a part one to be continued. You
Yeah.
told me the day before. I didn't tell Lani because she hates things that end on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, oh no, she's gonna hate it. I
Yeah.
got
See,
in
that's
trouble for not telling her.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like so what every spider did to Miles, you did to Lana.
Yeah,
Carry the secret of the to be continued. Yeah, I think
yeah,
that's the spoiler that helps get over the ending.
yeah. Right. Because when you're going into something, I think knowing it's to be continued, you
Yeah.
sometimes think it might not be resolved, which can leave you unsatisfied. But I think they really resolved a lot of things and left us wanting more,
Yeah.
which was very clever.
True. True.
Infinity War did it. I'll never forget, like coming out of the theater thinking I have to wait a year for Endgame. Coming out of this, knowing I have to wait for the next one, was just like, I think stuff like that makes you like things more. If you
I
like
don't
the
know.
film, it
Yeah,
enhances.
yeah,
I think it
yeah.
does because
Well, it works at
you're
least.
wanting, you're wanting more, right? So he's successful, but he's also put himself in another predicament, which Spidey always tends to do. Where literally the last slide is him
The
looking at
Prowler.
himself, the Prowler.
Him looking at the
What a
Prowler.
what an what an interesting way. So what they're saying is, by the spider leaving that universe
Yeah.
and biting him, it didn't bite this Miles. So this Miles turns into the Prowler,
Yeah.
which makes sense because his uncle would have been still doing what he's doing, and he's passed the mantle on, maybe, or passed it on to him because he was so influenced by his uncle,
Could
especially in
be
the
because
first one.
they seem to be working together. His uncle seems to be like his whistler to the
Right?
young Prowler. And
Yeah.
I love that Spider Sense doesn't work versus himself.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that they actually show that he was supposed to be bitten in the 42 universe and he wasn't, so now the world is a crappy place. So it shows how important it is that there is Spider-Man in every universe. And I love the idea that he's trapped there and now the gang's going to get him. And it's
Yeah.
psychologically it's such a cool concept that he is really struggling with first being like a teenager and being a superhero, but also the fact that all of his superhero buddies who he loves and looks up to and who are his only real friends maybe, well not because there's the man
He's
in
his
the chair
roommate.
who's not in the chair, yeah. But he really looks up to them and he wants to belong there, and he always felt like he belonged there, and now they're saying, yeah, you're not even supposed to exist. So
Yeah.
that's like a mindfuck right there. And then he has himself being butthurt over the fact that he didn't get bitten. So now he wants to have revenge. Well, he's
Yeah.
not even out of his psychological knot. So yeah, it's a cool story.
So
I'm really
devastating.
excited to see it. Yeah, yeah.
Devastating. But it sets up a massive hero arc for all of them. Redemption for the other guys. Him dealing with himself. Look, it also shows him how important or how right Miguel is in a way about these events not happening properly. Because look what's happened to this world because it didn't go the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So it's a way of Miguel, showing him this is why. Look what's happened here now. And I just want to address often. To me, it was a cliffhanger. I know Thanos won, but still a goddamn cliffhanger.
It's not a clever. No. This is brilliant. This is like when Orphan has kids, he just shows everything except Endgame. And he just says, that's the end of the phase. Did you like it? Did you like
Yeah,
it?
did you like it? No more Marvel for you.
Damn.
Lukagi says it's June. Yeah, and Lani said this to me as well. It's June next year. So, I mean, that's not that far away. So we hopefully won't have to wait that long, which is epic.
Yeah.
Get rid of your brain. That line.
Yeah, I didn't
so,
pick up on that when she said it.
So cool.
Yeah,
So cool.
it is.
He got rid of your braids. Damn. Because she didn't know either.
Yeah.
And his dad died in that, not his uncle. Yeah, his dad's mural.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool because I don't know if it's always an Uncle Ben who needs to die, but someone close has to die. But over here, apparently, it's not his uncle, but his dad. But a police captain also has to die, and that did happen. So I really didn't know what they were going for. If they were going for, and maybe they were trying to get us on the wrong foot, to be honest. That they were saying that they were going to show us that it's the police captain who died, but actually they meant to say that it's his dad and not his uncle. Yeah.
I did not know. Because in his film, his uncle dies instead of his dad.
Yeah.
And that's what, because it wasn't meant to be there. It's just crazy.
But police captain is still supposed to die.
Interesting. What are you guys' thoughts? Let us know. Apparently, Haley said they haven't recorded anything for it yet, says often.
Yeah, but to be honest,
It's
I don't know I think it would be more efficient. Yeah, I don't know how production works over here, because
Mm.
they might just edit things and then do voice acting.
Yeah,
I really
I
don't know
imagine the
how
voice
they
acting
work.
comes in near the end. I would say
I
it'd be
don't
coming
know. I
in
don't
near
know
the end,
because
surely.
when you see the behind the scenes of Guardians of the Galaxy, the voice acting is actually like an integral part of the production. So then
Mm.
first they do the animation, then the voice acting, then they change the animation due to the voice acting, and vice versa. So it comes back in
Mm.
a couple of loops. But I don't know how they do this one, because if they edit everything and then they do voice acting, you could do voice acting from January 24 to March 24 and be done with it. Because it's a lot
Yeah.
quicker than regular acting.
Oh hell yeah, yeah. They'll be able to bust it out pretty
Yeah.
quickly, I'd
But I don't
imagine.
know. I don't know. I hope it's not getting delayed, at least. But I don't know.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I don't want to wait. I just actually want to watch it again. I want to watch
Yeah,
it. I
me too.
already watched the first one before I went to watch it. And I'm like, it makes me want to watch the first one again because look, we haven't even touched on the music. The music in both the films are phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
I just love the vibe, love the music choices. The soundtracks are bangers. Me and Mila have been listening to What's Up Danger heaps. Just like putting that on just from the first one. You should see how good she can swing through this Miles on PS5. She's crushing it.
Damn.
She's so good at swinging through the
I just
city.
know that she's going to inherit all your figures.
Yes, she will. I'm grooming her to be a collector. I'm like, what do you think of this display? What do you think of this here? And
Pass
she'll
the
do things like
torch.
this.
Yeah.
She's like, like, what do you think of this place? I'm like, seriously? Okay.
And then you get her to post 2099, and when she does a wrong pose, you say, "Oh no, no, not like that." What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? Don't do it like that.
Are you insane?
That's not
girl?
natural. That's not natural. It's inevitable. It is
It's
inevitable.
inevitable.
Well, look, I had a great time watching this movie. I had a great
Yeah.
time talking about it.
Yeah.
If we're going to give it a rating, let's give it a rating. Ren says Hummingbird is the best from the album. Hummingbird.
Do
I
they have
think
Do they have a word for the glitches that happen?
Do they? I think they just
I don't
say.
know.
Don't they just say glitching? I feel
Yeah.
like they just say glitching.
I'll just do canon events. Or next.
What would you give it out of 5? I'm pretty sure I know what.
Yeah, so
we're
if
all
it's
gonna
out of
say, that
10,
have seen
I would
it.
at least give it a 9.5. So that would translate into like a 4.8 or something out of 5.
Yep.
And that's just to not give it a 5 out of 5.
You're just doing it just because?
Yeah, yeah.
You just don't want to give it a 5 out of 5? I saw someone mention.
I don't know if I don't know what it would say, but it's at least a 4.78. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a high rating. Lakagi says, I saw someone mention there is gameplay from Spider-Man 2 game coming out in the film. I completely missed it though. Yeah, I didn't see that.
The guy is his roommate playing Spider-Man 2? He is playing Spider-Man. I don't know if it's the second one or the first one, but he is.
Man,
but he's
there's so
playing
much
it.
of it.
I think he's playing the first one on a PS5.
Yeah,
I think.
5 out of 5 easy.
But it could be
says
Spider-Man
Often.
2.
That'd be cool. 5 out of 5. I'll probably look, for me it'd probably be a 5 out of 5. If I had one gripe, it was that it was a cliffhanger. That's it.
Yeah, I hated that.
The glitches are called is my internet or your mic.
Look, I can turn into Andre.
Dang.
This is like an
Are you
Andre
serious,
moment.
bro?
Oh, that's hot.
Ah, it is hot.
I had to.
Yeah.
The show, what? Yuri Lowenthal pairs for Spidey in the lobby. Ah, okay.
Who's that? Who's Yuri Lowenthal?
Yuri.
For Spidey.
He's playing the Spider-Man 2 game. There you go. Ren says he's playing the Spider-Man 2 game. All right, let's kick into what we're going to do next because I meant to talk to you about this backstage, but
Yeah.
we're too late. And then we'll kick into what's going on in your channels because Mr. Anthony's has a giveaway from the store. The store
From
of
the
Anthony.
store. Offen's Toy Store. I might need to
Yes,
open up a
August.
new YouTube channel called Offen's Toy Store.
That's a ring to it. John not
It
buying
is.
a mic may be a canon event. Hey, look, has the mic been better since I fixed my internet? Come on, guys. Has it been crackly? Let me know. I wonder if it's because I'm bumping around on the table. I wonder if that does that. If that has
It
anything to
seems
do with
to
it.
be. It has to do something with the direction, and maybe with like a threshold for it to pick it up. I don't know.
Is that better? Maybe
It's
I
not
need to
better.
not move around so
In
much
a world
and sit closer. In a
Yeah.
world where next week.
closer.
Okay, so here's my thoughts. Anthony, what do you think? I had so much fun doing the Q&A that I think I would like to do more things like that.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool.
And we've been talking about doing maybe like a tinkering session where instead of covering a show, maybe every now and then when there's no shows on, we do a hangout and pose some figures, maybe tinker around in our displays, talk about like, maybe unbox a figure. Just we're always tinkering and building and posing and unboxing things. We thought it could be cool to hang out with you guys and chat whilst we do that, and that's something that you guys could do, and then we can talk about figures, posing questions, display questions, anything to do with collecting and or whatever. What do you guys think about that if we did that as a hangout one week as opposed to sitting here going through slides? Would that be something fun that you would want to
That would be
do?
cool. We could do a couple of things. We could do Infinity War and Endgame, but I kind of not feel doing it next week. We could do a Tarantino movie, but it's kind of the same thing. I would like the tinkering one, to be honest.
I would kind of like to do that. I would
Yeah.
like to do a hangout like today. If we were doing it today, for instance, like the pose I'm doing for my Spider-Man display up there is this is the one I'm going to be working on next. And I thought
Yeah.
I could be doing that while we're talking and talking about, collecting in general and doing our display or something like that. And just figuring out, like talking about just noticing how I can, like I thought about posing him with the shorts, right? I can't see what the material underneath is doing if I'm going to put his legs in a very dynamic pose.
True,
Because I got the
true.
shorts on, I can't see. So
Yeah.
I'm like, interesting. That makes it difficult.
Interesting.
It makes it different when posing because I'm like, I could be pinching something and I can't see it. So
Yeah,
things
but
like
if you
that.
can't see it, doesn't really matter.
Well, it does if I want to change the outfit. But yeah, I guess. Because he was. That means I need to buy like another model. So
Yeah,
I
I
can
want to
have
rock
one
one
here
Stark.
too. Yeah, that sounds about fair enough.
Sounds about right.
William says that format sounds like fun. Awesome.
Yeah, it does.
You could do slides of the poses. Or I could just solo and put the screen up.
Yeah, do that. Just solo it.
Because this Spider-Verse display I'm doing beside me, I want you to see it in the distance, but I don't want you to see it too well. Because it's going to have like 17, 18 figures, dioramas. I've got like 12 drones in there, ridiculous amount of drones. Maybe not 12, but like maybe 10. And I'm building this whole story from one side of the display to the other. I'm going to do it with Infinity War and Endgame as well and have this whole mashup of an event. So like posing that up or unboxing a figure, like I just got Wonder Woman 1984 in. I've got her with I bought the blue cape for her to wear, which takes away the giraffe neck look, which looks amazing. I could be, posing her up or whatever. So I think next week we should do that. What do you
We
reckon?
could do that. We could
You guys
do
are
that.
down for that?
I could even play a game.
Yeah,
Or
Anthony
hear
said
me
he could.
click. Hear me click. Click, 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 click,
Don't worry.
click, click,
Well, you
click,
need to add another camera and screen so we can watch your gaming. That would be freaking hectic. Your game,
Yeah, it's
3
easy
screens.
to do because with the Logitech thing, I can just like another screen because I would do picture in picture then.
Yes.
Maybe 3 would be better.
Is my camera that bad often? Is my
Dude,
camera
no,
that
your
bad?
camera's
I'm
good.
thinking about getting a new camera. Anywhere we can add more new viewer participation. Yeah, so that way you guys can bring figures, or if you're unboxing something, or if you have any questions or anything like that. This could be like a different version of the show. So maybe like the rundown, or something like that.
Yeah, William, do you have something in mind how to get more participation? Because I think, well, we think that's actually what the rundown is all about. We have it's like the group of you guys, that's the rundown. So if you have any ideas how to do that, that would be great. Because
Yeah.
well, I say we, but John has it on his Post and Chill sessions, but that's only for members of the channel.
Mm.
And then we all get a camera and we all pose up. So that's like the maximum amount of viewer participation, but that's not on stream. That's just behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Then everyone sees everyone. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be a cool setup on stream. So maybe think of something else. As
Yeah,
viewer
so like
participation. Yeah.
So like next week, if we do, like, I could unbox a couple figures, pose up some for my display just while we're chatting, and we can talk about collecting or movies or whatever, like kind of like a hangout.
Yeah.
And then you can, if you're unboxing anything or posing, we can put them up to the screen, talk about the challenges or the tips and tricks of, because we do a lot of posing. We might have some tips and tricks that we can have learnt with how to deal with, let's say, posing Spider-Man figures. I've been working around with how to pose to get dynamic without being too crazy on the suit or things like that. Telling stories. Well, in regards to Facebook group, I have a closed Facebook group for channel members, but I don't have one for like stuff like that. That's something we could look at down the road.
Yeah.
Like that's one way I would recommend. Like that's one thing that we could do more in our Facebook group. Although we've got a few people in the Facebook group who aren't necessarily in like
I was
the Rundown show.
Yeah. That would be cool though. Maybe we
That
should
would
do
be cool. Things like I'm thinking about kit bashing a few figures, doing stuff like that would be fun.
Oh, dude.
Talking about
I was
things like that.
looking at this box and I didn't know what it was anymore. Because, that's how things go.
That's how Anthony rolls. What delivery did we get from the store today, Anthony?
It's the Night Out Spider.
Oh, damn, that one looks great.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
The red jacket.
it does. Yeah.
Damn you.
Well-
See, look, you could be unboxing that, showing us what it looks like. I could be unboxing... Oh, look. Okay, I finally got my... I hate saying finally because you get it when you get it, but I just got my Mark V suit up.
I didn't even get it, dude.
Which
So-
which looks super daunting to try and build. Like, imagine I could do that on the stream, try and build the outfit. Like, it looks very
Dude, I don't
daunting.
need you sweating all over the place when we're on stream.
Bloody hell. Kit bashing, look like you said, kit bashing show could be called Box of Scrap. Well, I think that's something I'd like to give a try, just to keep it fresh, because talking about movies sometimes, like last week, I felt like we just weren't talking about old movies and the old phase. We just weren't as motivated to talk about it. So I think doing something with our figures every now and then, or having a tinkering session while we unbox and do stuff and just chat with you guys chat to us, we chat, I think could be fun. So why don't we give that a go next week? Let's do that. I'll create a thumbnail and get it out there. So if you have anything you want to pose up or any games you want to play away doing it, I would literally play Miles, but my TV is too far away from where I am. That would be fun.
I could. I just did that like 15 minutes or something, and then I went into something else. I don't know. So I never even did that anymore.
Did what? Sorry, Miles?
Miles, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you should. That would be fun. Boom.
So that's him.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
He
The
does.
weathering looks amazing too.
Yeah.
The weathering looks fantastic. He came quick then, right? He only just came out.
Yeah, but everything you get from Giant Toy is pretty quick. But this is third party, right? This is not like official where you have different batches. And there were only like, what was it, like 500 or something? Or I don't know,
Nice.
but it was limited, so everything.
Pretty sure.
came out.
Yeah, it's pretty limited. Look, Agi says I'm playing Jedi Survivor at the moment. It's pretty great. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I could do that as well. I want to sit down and playing it, but it has been a while since Diablo 4 came out. But I was playing Battlefront 2, and that kind of caught me by surprise. It was like it's like a very cool Star Wars experience for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get. My goal is to finish Miles before the new Spidey game comes out, and that's pretty much the only gaming I'll be doing. Like,
Dude, it would
I
be
got
cool
to
if you
play
could
Blade.
play something together or versus each other. That would be fun as well.
That'd be cool. That would be cool. I used to do that with Killzone 2 on the PS. On the PS4, I used to play Killzone 2. Me and my friend would go online and play. He was a really good like online player for like Modern Warfare. He'd kick ass. He was an absolute savage. I was more mediocre.
Where do you
Let's put it
play
that
on?
way. It was on PS4. We'd play online like through the game Killzone or Modern Warfare. He'd play in the leagues or whatever.
Yeah.
I was never that into the leagues. I just played
Yeah.
for fun. But yeah, let's do that. Okay, so now rather than dragging it out too long, you've got a 1K giveaway going on your channel right now. Do you want to let it just everyone, if there's someone's watching this for the first time, how they can enter to win?
Yeah, so I've mentioned this a couple of times already. Now I finally put it out. So I really had to put it up today because I thought, damn, it would be so sad if I still had to say, yeah, there's a giveaway coming. So Figure Posing channel has reached 1K subscribers. So thanks everyone. So that's why I'm doing a giveaway. And I don't know who in chat. It might be often, but I don't remember if it was often. Set the 4th of July for the deadline. So on the 4th of July, the drawing will be from every comment that abides all of the rules in the video. And basically it's just liking, subscribing, and just saying what content you would like to see on the channel. And it will be the Infinity War Star-Lord, the sealed one.
Often's trying to goad you into can't wait for 1K DeLorean giveaway.
Me neither, dude.
Sure. But look, Infinity War Star-Lord's a cool figure, and I can't wait to pose him up more. I finally got him, so I'm going to be doing more posing with him very soon in my Guardians little thing I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, Andre already said if he wins, he's going to donate it to you so you can buy a new mic.
Where did he say that?
Oh, not
Where
here,
did
not
he
here,
say it?
not here.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it.
Better not. So that would be cool. I think that's a cool prize to win. So if you haven't, hop on to Anthony's channel, give him a like, give him a subscribe, leave a comment, and you could win Infinity War Star-Lord.
Oh, what do you have going on? I heard something about the Spider-Verse somehow.
Oh, yes. So I'm working on reposing up my whole display, and I thought I'm going to do these big. This time before I do anything else, I'm going to do the cabinet full of like themes. So the Spider-Verse is one big action scene, starting with the video game Spideys to Miles Spider-Verse characters to my Tom Holland verse, which is my biggest one, is my Tom Holland collection. So the whole cabinet back there is going to be action sequences this time. So
Dude, you could just start a vlog series. You could start a vlog series with posing re everything. Just call it Poser Struggles. And then you can have an ISB agent, and you can have something commenting on that you don't need 3 of everything.
Yeah. Well, let's just say I've got 3 red and black Spidey suits and the battling version. So I've got 4 of the same figure essentially, and that kind of got me in trouble. There is a method to my madness. Don't worry, and it's not for this display. It works in this display, but there's a long-term goal there. You will see.
Yeah. 2 the rock, 2 the stock.
Yeah.
3
why
rock,
not?
1 the stock.
If you're going to do 1, why not do 2?
True.
Why not do 3? Why not do 4? So I'm going to be doing that. So I was thinking about doing a reel or a YouTube short, just giving a sneak peek. But then I thought I always give away everything before I put it out. So I'm just going to do the video instead. Maybe I'll just do it for the channel members so you can see the display so far.
Yeah.
But it's nearly there. I've got 2 more figures to pose, a bit of adjusting and moving because it can look good in person. On your display, something I've noticed is it can look good in person, but it can then look bad on camera. And when I put it on camera, I'm trying to get the angles right so you see everything and things aren't blocked and it looks cohesive. So I do it with my eyes, then I set the camera up, and then I've got to figure it out how to move things to fit so it works on camera.
John,
What is moving with the whole show off on the chest?
coming back to, I think it was William's remark, right? Would you be open to opening a Facebook group, just a rundown one? Just not a members one, but a rundown one?
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Have some
Yeah, I
comfy
could do
chairs there.
Yeah,
Get everyone
I
in.
could do that. And then we can post stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, and make it also about film news. So, like, because I follow a few film things. You can put information about films coming out or things like that, like film and collecting.
We might need to
Could
look
be
into
fun.
how streaming on Facebook works.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how to, but I can look at it. What's Ren's often saying? Don't do that. I'll charge you
Vlog,
out of your
collector
vlogs."
struggles, poser struggles.
Justice for the mic. Damn,
Just
you just burned me then. Why'd you have to throw that in there? John
It's
Doe
justice for the
Modulcast display
audio.
with all Spider-Man chasing Miles.
Oh, dude,
Don't
yeah.
give me that idea. I've already just done this whole display. Maybe the next time. Maybe the next one I can do that. That's a great idea, Renz.
I wouldn't even.
I'm
have
going
the
to tick
space
that
to
away
do
in
it.
my brain to remember it.
Yeah.
You may need to remind me, though, because I do forget things. That's a great idea. Damn it, why didn't I do that the first time?
Maybe we should do it together and just have
That would be sick.
like a couple of months' time to do it or something. I don't know.
That would be sick.
Or different types
That's a
of media
great
to do it.
display. I clicked add to cart and it just turned up. That's the method. Yeah. I didn't finalize the payment. They stole my money and gave me a figure.
And I clicked
Damn it.
twice.
I clicked twice. Accidentally.
Yeah.
From 2 different stores. I'm sorry.
Iron
know how
Logan
that happened.
Diaries. Dude, you should open it. Iron Logan Diaries.
Iron Logan Diaries. I like that, actually. That's good. Iron Logan Diaries. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So you might not see as much content on Instagram and that because I haven't been doing any photography or filming anything, because what I want to do is do the whole display, then film it, and I'll delve into each figure and each pose, and it'll be one display per video. So it'll be on the shelf series, on the shelf Spider-Verse, and then I'll give you a full shot, panoramic from side to side, and then go into each pose, all the little stories I'm telling with all the characters, and that'll be a different video. So it'll only be like maybe 10 minutes, if that,
Yeah.
per shelf, depending on how long I talk about each figure. 18 figures, maybe 17, 18 figures. So if I talk to on each one, actually it could be longer, 20, 30 seconds on each figure. That's a long video. Anyway, last comment here from Often, as Ted Lasso would probably say, don't be a goldfish. Well,
Where? I never even saw Ted Lasso. Where's that on? Is that Apple?
it's Apple TV, yeah, and I haven't watched it yet. I saw a
I need to see it.
good scene I shared once from it, but
I
I need
think I
to
have
watch that.
Apple TV now.
Often says we need reaction shots of you so we can make posters. I don't know about. I see all these people doing themselves on their thumbnails now, doing things like this. You know why they do that? They do this. They do that because people tell them this is how you get more views on YouTube if you put
And
yourself in
they're
your
right.
thumbnail. So
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it works. So you'll see collectors now doing things like this. Oh, huh? And I'm like, yeah, that's not how I do. You know how we do. That's
you
not
know
how I do.
we don't do.
That's not how I do. I don't need to have.
It would be
I
cool
want my
though.
face
You
on
could do it in the new Facebook group.
I could things like this.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at Miles.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh,
good
give
one.
me
That's a good
more
one.
views.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good
you
one.
like that? Yeah, I can't do that. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. We're drabbling on.
Yeah,
Next week,
yeah.
let's do we're going to do the tinkering. If you guys feel free to come along, chat, hang out, tinker with us. Renz could be doing drawing at one time, maybe. Often could be editing something. Andre could be writing down his verses for when he burns me. I imagine him having a pad of burns and then just ticks them off as he gets me. So we could all be doing those things in the show. Until next time, like, subscribe, do all those things. Leave a comment. Join Anthony's channel. Go into the One Draw K giveaway. Let's do it. We'll see you next week. Everybody, thanks for being here.
Bye.
Across the Spider-Verse.